Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. And actually I'm just going to rant about a few things here, and I'm going to do a few shout outs first. Sorry about that, I got a notification. Anyway, I'm going to do a few shout outs first, and one is to Hats McGee, lifetime Astros fan, and definitely being a Houstonian and a native Houstonian, then I can relate to people like that. Besides the Astros, I maybe at one point in time, you're a little bit too young, but you might have been an Oilers fan too for a short while. But he sent me a message about his father being buried with some Astros stuff that said the greatest Astros fan, I guess, of all time. And he responds to a lot of my comments, and he's part of our tribe of Astros fans. So I wanted to give a shout out to him. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Tristino. Always comments on every single video almost, but watches every video, and I appreciate that. And also I wanted to give a shout out to George Springer. I haven't heard from you in a while. And then it's a little bit hard to pronounce, but I wanted to shout out to JC Potato Benji Ya. And JC, when you get a chance, JC, make your name a little bit easier. Otherwise, I'm just going to call you JC Potato Benji. Anyway, a shout out to you. Thanks for watching and commenting on all my videos. And today I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. But I wanted to first mention about the Oilers and my feelings on the NFL. It's not because the NFL just started the season or anything. I don't really pay attention to NFL. If we all got together, hypothetically, I would root for the Texans, but I'm just not a football fan. I don't like the pacing. I don't like the 11 to 12 minutes of gameplay versus 3 hours and 17 minutes of televising time. So, for example, if a game starts at 10 and ends at 1:20, you literally get only 11 to 12 minutes of gameplay. And I can't relate to games that aren't precision games. I also can't relate to games that are that have a face mask over it. So I need to see the face. In baseball, the camera really zooms in on the face in between pitches. And I just like everything about baseball. I love the pacing. I just love the way that the commentating is slow paced and more anecdotal, more about baseball stories. And I love that sometimes they don't even talk and they just let the pitch happen. The camera all of a sudden zooms in on the sweat on a pitcher's face or the look of frustration on a batter's face. And it becomes more personal for me, and it's just, like I've said many times, that battle between two men. And, after the Oilers left Houston, I was brokenhearted. Earl Campbell was my favorite Houston sports hero of all time for a while. And, that was during the Love You Blue era. And at the exact same time, we had the Astros just teeing off. We never made it through, but that's when we contracted Nolan Ryan. And we had some of the greatest Astros of all time, the heyday. And they even got to wear the super cool uniforms every day. It was just awesome back then. And it was a really good time for baseball. But I had a deep love of the Oilers, and I was a young man at the time. And I really enjoyed watching the Oilers. They weren't fitting as many commercials back then. But, the Oilers are really the only thing about the NFL that I've ever really liked. And I can say this, that when the Oilers left, that was like the last piece of NFL left in my heart. So I am completely basically like baseball, tennis, Formula One. Not really into soccer, even though if I were like English, I would watch like Champions League or Premier League. This is a baseball channel, obviously, but I wanted to share with everybody my feelings on other sports. And even in the NBA, I can say this, I am a homegrown Rockets fan. It's just the personalities in the league are just getting worse and worse. And their attitudes are worse and worse, so it's just disenchanting me. I definitely would enjoy a Rockets championship, but in the meantime, I know one thing, I know the Astros are going to deliver for us. Baseball's a finicky game. So on paper, we are the best team in baseball. And my playoff predictions are coming, and I'm going to analyze this. With the wild card game, sorry about that. The nav is speaking. Let me turn that down. With the wild card game coming up, two really strong teams are actually going to knock each other out. So the AL wild card game is going to be very interesting for me to watch. And right now, we don't know. Even though on paper we have the best pitching lineup, in the essence of baseball is pitching, we don't really know what's going to happen if we're going to be the first or second seed, because the dominoes just might tumble a little awkwardly. I do believe in this team. I do believe that we are the best team in baseball, period. A lot of people would agree. Even if they don't, tough. I do not care. I believe we are the best team in baseball, but we have to prove it. And in order to be the best, we have to beat the best. And we might actually have to go through the A's or the Twins and then the Yankees, because they're going to be either the number 1 or number 2 seed. Definitely the number 3 seed is going to be the Twins. It's not set in stone, but, highly, highly likely. Furthermore, so we don't really know, but it's not going to be an easy road. We have to play our A game. Luckily, we have a lot of good things going for us right now. We have 3 aces, and Greinke just had a really good game. Verlander is at the top of his game. He's basically... I've never seen... Verlander is pitching lights out. Verlander is an absolute Hall of Famer. He threw another no-hitter at 36 years old this year. The guy is absolutely amazing. Amazing, 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 comma. And sorry about that. I thought I was texting for a second where I add the commas. Forgive me. Anyway, back to the conversation. And with a couple of the people that had relatively harmless beginnings of the first beginnings of the season, and with the injuries we had with Altuve, for Altuve to come around like this, and for Bregman to come around like this, and for Gurriel to come around like this, our batting lineup is so stacked. It's unbelievable. But when you see George Springer, who's hitting, I believe, 294 or 298 right now. I believe 294. And our first 6 or 7 guys are all hitting above 294. That is absolutely amazing. And if you look at the additions of Michael Brantley, with all respect to Marwin Gonzalez, our lineup is literally equal to like the Yankees 30s murderers row. It's absolutely amazing to watch these guys. And then with us having 3 aces, like I said, on paper, there's nobody that competes with us. I hope we get a few of the pitching issues worked out with the closer and the relievers. But, I do believe in players like Will Harris and Ryan Presley. I'm forgetting a few names right now because I've been busy. But this is not going to be an easy road. It's a finicky game. I don't take even the Twins lightly. I do think at the end of the season, we can count ourselves lucky. Hopefully we win the World Championship this year. But I would say that we can consider ourselves lucky because we had one of the hardest roads. And we actually might have a little bit of a surprise at the end. We actually might be playing the Braves in the World Series with their pitching lineup, their starting rotation with Dallas Keuchel. And I think there would be some irony to have Dallas Keuchel, and I think he would have something to prove against us. But then when you look at the other part of their, like Mike Soroka and Max Fried, Julio Teheran, Mark Melancon, Shane Green, and there's one other guy, because he has that real hard name like Fulton Aquix or something like that. If you look at their starting lineup and their bats, they actually look really good. And I believe the Braves went into Dodger Stadium a while back and took 2 out of 3. So you cannot assume anything in this playoff series except for one thing, and that is that I do absolutely believe that the on paper, and I do think we have the resume and the history, and I think it's going to be this field is going to be stacked. This playoff is going to be amazing, but at the end of the day, there's a really good chance that we're the ones that stand on top. But remember this, you know, after the wild card game, there are 8 teams in the hunt, and we have to go through 3 playoff series, so it's not going to be easy. Anyway, that's my video. Hopefully you guys liked it, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.